about how to use Matlab. First thing about Matlab is it's basically like the inside programming of a calculator. So what we're going to start with is just a simple command of pi. You enter pi for pi, and you see right here we have like a 14-digit number or a decimal. We want to simplify that, so all we have to do is go format, short, and then we try pi again, and it'll give us a much more easy to work with number. Now getting a little bit more complex. If we had a negative number, you can do absolute functions, ABS, -7, and it would produce a positive number as well. There's also a bunch of different just places you can go on Matlab. Right here I have my script open, and you can do different functions. For instance, this is a database where it's set up that when I run the section, it produces a histogram from other data I've recorded. Now right here, I just have a sample function set up. If I want to add a comment to the function, all I do is click underneath there. You do the percent sign, and I can say this is a wage-related function. So I called this function test123 just for example. So if we do test123 back in the command window, and then you see on the screen it pops up hourly rate. It's asking us for the hourly rate. So if we made $10 an hour, and now it wants to know hours per week. We worked 37 hours this week. Enter. $370 would be the amount. And now that number didn't just come up because it's programmed. I was the one that programmed it in, and we did that using a script, and then I saved the script as test123. So you can input your own functions in Matlab, which is really neat. Over here you see all of the functions that I've already made. There's a few of them that look weird, like A and B. Those are matricey functions. In order to make a matricey function, you type the letter that you want to set the matricey as. I'm going to use A equals, and then you can use spaces or commas for this, 4, 7, 9, then use a semicolon. Now right here would be a 3 by 3 matricey. I hit enter, and it comes up. Now you notice 422 is on the left column. If I want to transpose that, all I do is A and then apostrophe, and you see how the 422 came up. That's a transposed matrix, and it's very simple to do here in Matlab. Also in Matlab, there are other ways to find functions. There are multiple functions. So if you go up to the top and go into the function section, you can search things specific as random number generation. They have all these different folders in which you click on one, and it'll get more and more detailed on functions that you can use when you're working in Matlab. So in order to actually run this function, it has to be saved first. So you would go up to this run, and you would save the function as test123.m for a Matlab function, and then that's why it keeps coming up every time you use it. So back in the command window, I just want to get rid of all this. All you do is CLC, and then in my workspace over on the right, you see all the data that I've already got saved. If I want to get rid of that, I do clear. Now both of it's done, and I can start afresh, start anew, do whatever I want. Now Matlab does not recognize multiplication just by two numbers right next to each other. So I can't just do 4 times 6. Obviously it'll think it's 46 if I don't put the times in there. So what I do is 4 times 6. Now if I do divided by 7, the way Matlab works is it reads from left to right. So it'll be 4 times 6, 24, divided by 7. If I wanted 4 times 6 divided by 7, you need to use parentheses and things along that line. You can also plot different things. For instance, if you're doing a script and you want specific text to come up, I can show it to you just here in the command window. You do fprintf, and then you can write, what is your name? Now if you want to make a new line while you're doing this, hit the slash, lowercase n, and say type name on the following line. And I'll do \n one more time just to ensure that it goes down to the next line, close parenthesis, and oh, I forgot the. See, that's another important thing. When you do these commands and these F prints, you need parentheses. Otherwise, it won't realize when you finish. It doesn't realize it's text. So when you put it in the single apostrophe parenthesis, it realizes that you're dealing with text and not trying to make a function out of it. So now when I hit enter, it corrects me on a mistake I made. Just using fprintf. It rewrites it because I did not put the T actually by accident. That's another cool thing. Matlab is usually able to tell what kind of function you want to use, and if you do make a small mistake like forgetting the T, it'll make suggestions, which is really nice. And as you see right here, it says, "What is your name?" Type name on the following line. And this would only be useful in a script because if I type my name here, it'll think it's a whole new question or that Matlab needs to solve. But using fprint in a script, it will yield this in the command window, and you can actually start making functions that input user information and user data into the function. So that's just a quick summary of how to use Matlab. So that's everything. Thank you.